Welcome to the Fashion Translator. I'm Claire, your host. Together we explore how AI and innovation are reshaping the fashion industry through creativity, technology, and global partnership. For today's episode, I'm delighted to welcome Elif Akaydin, founder of Pattern of Heart, a brand rooted in social impact and craftsmanship. Elif, thank you so much for joining me today. Could you please start by introducing yourself and sharing a bit more about your journey as a founder?
Thank you for having me. I'm Elif Akaydin. I'm naturally from Istanbul, Turkey. I had my studies until high school in Istanbul, and then I moved to US and I had my degree here in the United States. I moved to New York, and after having a degree in fashion, I moved to New York and see, what are the opportunities here as a very young immigrant woman. And I was lucky enough to have great opportunities lined up for me. I worked as a buyer in 2 boutiques in Soho. I did custom clothing for a high-end Italian brand. I worked for a accessories brand as a buyer. So whenever I was building up my career, I was meeting new people, also getting older and understanding of what I really want to do. One thing I knew that I wanted to stay in fashion. I loved it. But when I hit my mid-30s, I started to ask questions. I wanted to stay in fashion, but I wanted to put a meaning into it. Around that time, I was kind of playing with handbags. I didn't even have a collection yet, but I was doing it on the side, and I was playing with it, and I loved it. I met this lovely person in Midtown here in New York. He offered me a partnership. He said, you design and I make them and we sell them together. That was my first handbag collection back in 2006. So around that time, I always kept my corporate fashion job, and then handbags and fashion accessories was my side hustle in a way. And until 2014. In 2014, I decided that, okay, I want to go solo. I'm going to do this. I'm going to jump in that pool of, And so until then, it's my full-time passion and my job. It is around that time I was asking questions. Yes, so I knew that I didn't only want to sell handbags. I wanted to put a meaning in it. And I was lucky enough to be raised by a grandmother and parents, mom and dad, that they believed truly in the importance of women education. And I was lucky enough to have this great formal education and then here. So, being from Turkey, from the eastern part of Turkey, I knew that at that age, this opportunity was not given to every young woman like me. This is like early 80s. I always knew that that's something valuable I had, because my father always said, no one can take your education away from you. They can take this and that, but your education was there. Yeah. So it's always like written. It was written to me in my mind all the time. So I said, okay, so I'm going to set up this. I did a new branding. It was Pattern of Heart with my new logo, 2 hearts together and also 2 bags together. So it became 2 hearts and a bag. I said, okay, so I'm going to set up this brand that will help women, artisans, and also young women who's willing to educate themselves. And then I started to search for women artisans for different projects. And then I found this really nice organization in Turkey. So they have this division. They give scholarships to the young girls in eastern part of Turkey. So that was like
very aligned, very aligned with you.
Yeah, and then the program is called "I Have a Daughter in Anatolia." So it's so touching. Yes, I know. I got goosebumps too. Still, every time. I know. So I said, okay, I'm choosing this organization, and then I'm donating every end of every season. At the end of every season, from my profit, I will donate to this organization, to this division. So I emailed them, we spoke, and they gave me all the information. And then that's what I've been doing since 2014. A percentage from each sale goes to them. And then around this time, I found this group of women in India, in Beirut, Lebanon, and they have different crafts, but they're great in their crafts. And then I applied those crafts at my work. So one group of handbags is called Bono Amore, which means good things to love in Latin. So that one it's a project in India. So they take my small paintings and they do a hand stitch embroidery. It's called chain stitch technique. So they do this panels of hand stitch of my artwork, and then I turn them into little clutches and loyalty crossbody bags. And then another project is in Beirut, Lebanon. They are specialized in tambour technique of beading. So they do this hand beading eyes and hearts and different symbols, and each symbol has a meaning. And then I take those beaded pieces and I put my own designs on my bags. And then the third group is in Istanbul, Turkey. This group of women, they do hand woven macrame bags, clutches and bags. Those are my usually summer bags. So they do those. And then also sometimes I apply a eye that I do from Beirut group, put in the other group's bags. I mix,
Mix and match.
Mix and match, but the idea is the same. I also have a little leather goods collections like wallets and card holders, things like that. With that collection, I picked this atelier in Istanbul. It's a family-owned atelier. And then the owner has been doing this for generations. And the employees, more than 50% women employees. And the top managers are all women.
No.
So and they're lovely. We became basically family, because like they're family oriented. So they go to work together, the wife and the daughter and the father, that kind of mentality. And they do great quality of little leather goods. So that is my fourth division. As a fifth division, I do regular handbags. Again, in that atelier, but in that group, no women artisans involved, but also it's done in atelier that it's also, I call them feminist ateliers, So this is what I do. I live in New York. I travel to Istanbul, Turkey twice a year to run production and see family, friends, and search for new things. And the rest of the year I'm here. I have a wholesale business, and also I do pop-ups in New York City. Actually, a new one is happening starting next week in West Village for 2 months. Slowly, I'm creating this group of nice people. And they're all at different parts of the world, but they kind of know each other too, because, I
the
tell
same
them.
soul family. The same soul family.
So when I work with this, embroidery people, I say, you know what, this is going to go to Istanbul and they're going to put it together. And they all know, without knowing each other. So that makes me happy on the way. And then I met you. So it's like like-minded people attracts each other, kind of,
We find each other, huh? We find each other.
Yeah.
So you briefly share, like you seem to have like a very strong connection with these artisans and your suppliers.
Yes.
So I'm sure that like you described, it's an inherent part of your design process. But could you tell us a bit more about like your process in general, from conception, where you would get your idea? Does it always start from the material and the beadings, or sometimes from somewhere else and then you swap, and all the way until you can bring the collection to life?
Sure. It usually starts from when I do the embroidery and beading works, because it starts from my art. So it starts usually from my love of art. I follow because New York City is great. So I can
For art and
I'm very lucky. Yes. So I go see galleries, museums, and I read about art a lot. And also, I love to read about designers that I love. And not only the old designers, but new contemporary designers. I listen
Yeah,
podcasts a lot. And like in the podcast, they talk about this artist. So I don't know. I take a screenshot and then I go, I look, I have a notebook that I write down all the things that I'm going to
yeah,
search. So it starts from there, the color palettes and everything. I watch, of course, fashion weeks all over the world and see what's going on. I go all the trade shows. So it starts from there usually. But I also bring my roots too. I grow
yeah,
up in an environment that like my aunts and my mom's friends, they will get together and they will always do something by hand. They would either knit something, they will either do
yeah,
dantelas. Dantelas are amazing. And I grow up seeing that women get
yeah.
together and create something.
Yeah, it
So
creates a bond, to
yeah,
while your
yeah,
hands are busy, you can
yeah,
talk, or sometimes not
yeah,
even talking, just in silence, but being in the
yeah,
presence of
yeah,
the women of
yeah,
your family, or like your soul woman. It always
yeah,
it's bonding and it elevates your energy for sure.
absolutely. So I remember whenever I'm with them, they were always doing something in their hand,
Yeah.
creating because that was still they do actually. So it all, I guess, comes from it. And then I sit down. Either I do old school, I hand sketch this motifs and these ideas, these colors. Or lately I'm learning to do digital too. Sometimes I put it in the digital. And I have a
Mhm.
lovely assistant. She comes in, she's great with digital stuff. I'm learning. So she sees and then she sits down and we do it together and she helps me with giving the colors and moving the things around. And then the ideas come along like that way. But also my starting points started to be sustainability too, before
Mm.
everything.
Yeah, yeah,
So with my leather goods, I started this new project. We go with a friend of mine. She's lovely. So there are so many leather pieces in tanneries that people don't use them. They're like
yeah,
mountains on mountains of leather pieces. Either
yeah.
they're gonna go into the, they
Landfill.
yeah,
Yeah.
landfills or so we go there and then we see what we can use and we grab those and we turn them into products. That's a great way of starting a
Yeah.
collection. I love doing that lately. My brand is not 100% sustainable, but I could say honestly, freely, it's 70% is sustainable right now and aiming for 100%.
Mhm, mhm.
Yeah.
That's a great mission. So if
Yes.
speaking of mission, so the social impact, like you said, like supporting women is really at the core of your brand, plus the very big space that you give for the craftsmanship in your world. How do you balance this with the reality of modern day businesses? How you make sure to
Yeah.
take all of these pieces together?
Yeah, it's tough. Yeah, it's
What
tough.
have been some of the challenges that you're now
Yeah,
turning around and that
yeah,
are becoming
yeah,
winning stories?
yeah. So it's like I've learned that I have to really use my time very wisely. I have this technique that I'm trying. I'm not a master in it, but I pick days for creating. So those days I only do creative work. And then I picked days just for numbers, selling, all the other
Mhm.
non-creative part of the business. So I think it because when I do them together, it's like switching the mindset from this email to this
Yeah,
buy. She's asking something, and then go back to I was designing something. It becomes a chaos. So
yeah,
this seems like working. So I do Thursday, Fridays is my designing days, and then the beginning is my sale and other days.
business.
Sometimes I switch them, but but again, of course, I mean, I work 7 days a week.
Yeah.
It's just, but when I sit down in my office, I try to do that and it's working. I ask for help, part-time help. I have part-time assistants during the peak seasons for selling. They come, let's say I'm doing a trade show and all that work. So they come and help me. In terms of designing, I have another assistant with design projects. She comes and helps me. So I get help too. So I try to be calm and go with the system instead of like trying to getting done everything at once. But it is tough. It's
Yes.
always a project that stays on the shelf, that untouched. It's always something that, needs my more attention, but I don't have time. But then I look at it, I'm not the only one.
No,
You
and I have to say that this is like
know,
it's really it's great that you were able to go past this because sometimes as
yeah,
an entrepreneur we have this hustle mindset, this like we should
yeah,
do it all of
yeah,
ourselves. But
yeah,
this is really something that's a thing of the past. Right now we're moving into this new season. There's this new
yeah,
perspective of mentality that it's not hustle hard, is hustle smart in the sense that your assistant, like you said, she's brilliant with digital. So it's good that you're able to surrender that part and let her shine, let
yeah,
her be what she's good at. This way it frees your hand and your, most importantly,
absolutely.
your mind to shine also yourself for where you're best at. And things like this, like collaborating and coming together so that each person gets to do what they're the best at and this elevate business and at the end of the day profitability.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm on the same page with you. I used to get so upset and like almost sick in a way, like because then your health start to.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah,
just whatever I can do that day, my best. But
yeah.
and I've learned how to ask for help. I wasn't good at it in the past.
This is something we all learned, like,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
it's a steep curve. Like it doesn't come easily at
you
first,
know,
as
yeah,
we're all
yeah,
strong, independent women, but
yeah, yeah.
still asking for help
Yeah.
is actually the brave thing to do. It's
Yes,
the
I've
courageous
learned.
woman who asked for help.
Yes, I've learned. So that's like, I'm trying to remind myself that too. I can ask for help. You know.
So speaking of your business, now you
Yeah.
manage, like you mentioned you separate it by day and then like
Yes.
you onboard like extra help when you need. So right now at this moment, which aspect of your business has most of your focus?
Well, it's time to pitch for fall for stores.
Mm-mm-mm.
So I'm pitching my wholesale collections to the stores, following up with them because they're gonna buy until like, I don't know, end of June, July
Mm-hmm.
for fall, for holiday season. So that's my main focus in terms of sales. And then I'm having a pop-up opening up soon next week. So I'm getting ready for that too, in terms of display, which collections to take, how to display them, and then the promotion, like sending out invitations to clients that pop-up is
Yeah.
happening for month of April and May. This is the address. And then I'm sharing the space with another designer. We're doing a little welcome party for spring. So getting ideas for that. This is my week this week. But also, always, if I see something inspirational for
Yeah.
design purposes, I have a little notebook always with me.
To make sure
Take a
it
note.
doesn't get
Yeah,
lost and it's
yeah, it
preciously
doesn't get
kept
lost.
for.
Either it's a sketch or it's something, so I just put it
Yeah.
there and put it away so I can get back to it. That stays
Yeah.
with me too. Yeah, this is
Because
basically,
creativity and inspiration
yeah,
sometimes is very volatile. Like it crosses you,
yeah.
but it's like a bird. If you don't catch it when it comes, it can
Absolutely.
be gone the
Absolutely.
day
Yeah.
after. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Although it was like
Absolutely.
a certainty when you had this idea, but
Yeah.
the day after it
Yeah.
can be continued into its
Yeah.
own way.
Yeah. Like I've seen so many suede bags at the shows happening, just finished fashion weeks. And I'm like, okay, suede bags. Get on to suede because yes, my brand is not trends only, but I need to touch them. So,
Of course,
uh,
yes.
yeah, so I'm also like excited to like dream a little bit of about like how can I do like a group, suede back group for fall. So like
Yeah.
that's also like in my mind this week.
Yes, trends can be a good like stepping stone. Like it can take you to your next level, and if they're leveraged properly and not
Yeah.
copy paste, it can be like it opens your horizon. Oh, if I were to explore this, but make it my own, what would it
Of
look
course.
like? You know?
Absolutely. That's the
Yeah.
idea. Like see suede bags. Everyone is doing their version. So I said, okay, maybe I can do my version, a small group of suede bags for the fall. We'll see.
Yes, yes, we'll be keeping an eye for that. So,
Yeah.
and in your business, if there is one aspect you could automate, if I were to give you a magic wand and automate one aspect of your business, which one would it be?
My follow-up for sales. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's like I send off tons of emails to shop owners and or influencers or all those people, and then I wish I could then just touch and then it would just do it by itself, make the phone calls. That
yeah,
part
every
I'm
every
considering.
few days or so, just to keep the things to keep things
I'm
warm.
consuming. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm in the process of hiring maybe a team or an individual to help with this wholesale sales. I'm interviewing with also people right now, but I wish, even if I hire someone, I wish it would be like a magic thing that, have that
Yeah,
person too.
yeah, your fairy godmother comes in and then poof, it's done.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So now if we look at the future, like the next 2 to 3 years, what would be the next growth phase for Pattern of Heart?
Well, my dream is collaborating with bigger brands, luxury brands. I wish I could get together with their key person um, who does I know most of brands they have certain causes that they work with.
Mhm.
They help to certain causes. So my dream is to collaborate with some luxury bigger brands with my own mission. And let's say
Mhm.
we collaborate and on a small collection, and then not the percentage, everything, all the sales from that collection goes to my mission. And I
Yeah.
do it with this top brand and this top brand, and so
To
that's something that I want to,
spread the mission, the awareness
yes,
of the
yes,
cause and have a
and do
bigger
my work
impact.
too with it, and
Yes.
then learn from those people. I That's my dream in 5 years. So maybe
Yes.
if I
Well,
have a
Elif, for sure, we will keep an eye on you and we'll stay connected. For the listeners who also want to stay in touch, all the website handle will all be in the description. Elif,
Thank you
thank you
so
so much
much.
for joining me today. It was a pleasure.
It's my pleasure too to meet like-minded people like yourself. Thank you so much.
Thank you.